In a lab class, there's a limit to what you can do in a lab. Point system, if you come to class, you have points. When students, look at it, they say, I'm going to go to class, something like that. But you don't want students to come to class just because of points. You want them to come to class, because of what they want to gain. So it is a problem here, and it's a problem that we keep thinking about. And
I think we're all dealing with the same topic here. And as an adult learner who has gone through the 20s, where I believe Brandon is at, and Harold, I think you're right on the right track. I think what we're talking about here is our locus of control. And what you need to understand is where Brandon may be leaning into is the locus of control maybe is external for him. He feels that maybe it's someone else is the problem. And really it's you. You are in control of that, okay? It's not the teacher's fault that's he's not your truancy officer. You are. You are the adult. So it's not the teacher's fault that you don't go to class. It's you, right? So you are in control of that. And as far as the instructors, if they're poor instructors, they have chairs. So you can go to that department chair, and you are in control of that as well. This university especially, they take your money. And you are in control of your education. So you go to that chair. You go to that instructor. They have office hours. You go to them first. They don't want to hear you. You go to their boss. And you keep moving up that chain. Because you are in control of your education. This is your world. You take control.
In some classes, like in one of my math classes, we had to deal with blackboard and formulas. So the teacher would write the formulas and so many other stuff on the blackboards and would explain, from the blackboard. But so many times I ask the instructor to, when you're writing the formula or whatever pages on the blackboard, just read it aloud, read it out loud so I can follow you and I can, understand what you're doing, or at least what is the formula or what numbers are you subtracting, adding, what you're doing, so I can keep on with you. But I don't know either it is the deficiency of the system or whatever. He couldn't keep on at that, and he would just point to that. You do this and this, and by maybe pointing by his finger or by his pointer, whatever. So I couldn't really follow him, and I really ended up dropping the class because I couldn't, get in contact or relation with him through talking or through speech. So the class was kind of visual based, and for a visually impaired person, it was not really possible to keep up with the class, which is really based on PowerPoints or some other visual points and not much kind of narrative context. So that's one of the maybe kind of discrimination against probably can say disabled, visually impaired disabled, which is going on in some classes.
Everyone thinks that athletes get everything handed to them and we don't have to work for anything, but really we have to have good time management. We have to go to classes. We may miss a lot of class and miss tests, but we have to make them up, and we can't attend every study group that all you guys get to go to. So we have to work twice as hard as everyone, but we get discriminated for it.
With one of our class attendance problems, I think it's great. One of my teachers I have right now, actually in his test, he has 5 questions on each test about things that you'd only know if you went to class. You'd understand, and it applies towards the test and everything. And I think that's genius that, you're like, well, I kind of have to go to class if I want those extra 5 points. And also, I'm a student athlete, and I understand what you're saying, that sometimes people think we just get things handed to us, when in reality I feel like things are actually harder because I'm a student athlete. First semester I had 5 hours of extra study hall hours I had to go to, every single week. And, it was a pain, it definitely was, but I made the honor roll, and so I didn't, I didn't have to continue doing that. But yeah, it was hard, it was really hard.
student athlete here, but I was at the University of Missouri and looking to go back. But it also holds you accountable, and coaches and stuff, they have to keep you eligible to play, so it helps a lot. So if you're looking for something to help you push you through, I mean, it helps a lot. And the whole athletes get everything handed to them was a lot. I was at the University of Missouri in engineering, and I got discriminated against because I was an athlete and couldn't go to all the tests and whatnot because I was on track meets and stuff. So it does make a big difference as a student athlete. It helps and hinders, but in the long run, it definitely helps out.
Good job. Thank you.
You're raising very important points about special needs for certain students, athletes, disability students, gender discrimination. These are issues that are very important, but I want us to note all these problems go on in society. It's not just at WSU, it's also outside the university that we go through different forms of discrimination. So I want us to keep thinking, how do I transcend these obstacles? Because you all have been transcending these obstacles. Professors, administrators, students, all of us have to be trained to cope with different forms of problems that we encounter at WSU and in the society. And meanwhile, when we are acquiring skills for doing all these things, I want us to keep persisting and keep working and keep affirming that, yes, I am an individual and I'm a student at WSU. I have to earn what I deserve. And if you're not giving it to me, I have to keep making sure, that I get them.
I just want to comment on the student athlete situation. I did JUCO at Dodge City Community College, and I was a student athlete, and I was on the golf team, and I was the only black on the golf team. And I later found out that they had other minorities before me, but they were like Asian minorities or Hispanic minorities on the golf team. And I later found out after I graduated, I was the first black female on the Dodge City golf team, and I feel like I got racially profiled a lot. I tried to talk to my teachers and stuff, and I just felt like, when they were very cliquish there in Dodge, I really didn't have a lot of people to relate to there, and like I said, being the only black golfer at a small city like that, it was very hard for me. So.